crafters, it's Cynthia. I am back today finally with another video, and I had seen these at the craft store a couple weeks ago and I was like, oh my gosh, as soon as it's payday I am gonna go back and grab this. So this is the Lawn Fawn costume party stamp set, and it is obviously a Halloween themed stamp set, and it's brand new for this season, and it is so cute. And there's just a really wonderful selection here. There's 5 little people in their costumes, little details. There's the candy basket and the candy bowl and little bits of candy. There's even a tiny candy corn and a little fun-sized chocolate. There's a nice pumpkin, and there's 2 different faces you can use. Here's actually those 2 pumpkins. I've been just stamping them like crazy all over the place. So these I colored with my Copics, and then I stamped the faces in black and put white, or excuse me, clear embossing powder on top. So that's what those 2 little dolls look like. And I also stamped and cut out several of those little candy baskets, and then I made a little panel here with just the little tiny candy pieces stamped in Versamark and covered in clear on top of this nice dark blue paper. So anyway, I didn't end up using that, but I'm saving it in the packaging for a future project. And then the other thing that I loved and got was this adorable cute Cobweb Die Set by Lawn Fawn. So it comes with this nice little corner spider web, and then a little spider that dangles down, and then a larger spider that's smiling. So this actually will be part of my project. So anyway, I think I'm just going to go ahead and get rolling. I went ahead and did a lot of prep work for these cards, just cause. So let me get together the things I did. So here are 2 of the little characters, and I stamped all 5 of them just by themselves, and then I stamped all 5 of them with little candy collecting baskets here. And then for the witch, I went ahead and gave her her broom in her little hand. So I thought that was awfully sweet. So what I did then is I decided to pair up both one of the kids just in the costume and one of the kids with the basket, and I'm going to put them together. And what I also did is I decided that I wanted to use some nice distress ink panels, and so this is just the standard distress inks. I didn't use my oxide inks this time. And I started out here, I wrote it down, this is Blueprint Sketch going into Chipped Sapphire, and then I used a little of the black soot at the top, and then I edged the panel with the black soot as well. Then I cut the spiderweb dies out of black cardstock, and I just put a little bit of yellow behind the face here on the big spider to help it really stand out. And then I decided I really wanted to keep as much of this background exposed as I could, and so instead of putting down like a white piece of cardstock or something, I just decided to use my vellum. And I stamped the Trick or Treat, and I used my black VersaFine ink and heat embossed it with clear powder on top. And I did that for all the sentiments that you're going to see, and also the cobwebs and spiders. I did that on every single panel, but the panels are all colored different. So I gave you the triple combination for this one, and I'll give you the names of the other colors as they come up. But anyway, then I went ahead and just, splattered it with my bigger squirt bottle, so it gave me those nice splotches. So I kind of wanted that look. And then I just taped my vellum on the back side. The pieces were rather short because I only had a little bit of vellum left, but I just taped it down with Scotch tape on the edges. And what I'm going to go ahead and do is just put this panel on just a piece of black cardstock with just the smallest border exposed. So let me go ahead and get that tacked down. And this won't be perfectly matted, but that's okay. And then for this spider here, it's a little difficult to tell, but I did pop him up just on one little layer of home tape so that, again, he'd stand out from his web. But I just absolutely, as much as I hate spiders in real life, I love chubby little darling spiders. So, all right, so then the cardstock pieces that you're going to see, or excuse me, the pattern paper pieces you're going to see me use are from two different collections. One of them is My Mind's Eye Frightful, and I've had this pad for probably 2 years now, so I don't know how available it is, but it kind of has a slightly more mature, kind of maybe old-fashioned frightening or something. So it's really cute, but you know, it just depends on how you use it. And then of course the super cute Ghouls and Goodies collection by Doodlebug. So naturally these papers are very cutesy, very whimsical, and not frightening at all. So anyway, so this is obviously from the My Mind's Eye Frightful collection, and this one is just orange with little jack-o'-lantern faces, and then this one has the 31st repeated over and over in all these little styles, so I really like that one. And I didn't have any paper that had blue in it, and that's why I made that panel, you know, this one, but that also didn't look right, so I just decided, hey, not everything needs to match, does it? Now these are not cut perfectly, so I'm expecting to trim some of them. You know how that is, no matter how hard you try to measure carefully, things always are slightly too big or small. So that one is there, and this one is gonna go here. And see, this one is going to be a little bit long, but then I can just flip it over and trim it off. I'd rather leave something slightly long and trim it as opposed to cutting it too short. All right, so I'm going to put this down right against the edge of the card. And I want to be very careful that none of it goes over the edge, because I've talked before about how as you handle the card, if it were hanging over the edge, you'd just constantly catch that paper with your hand and it would eventually lift off and maybe tear. All right, and it's also hard to trim along the spine because you could absolutely accidentally cut your card base and you'd be in a real mess. All right, so that is good enough. And then the other little detail, my mom had bought several packages of Halloween ribbon, and I think it was last year, and it was after the season, so everything was marked down, and so she bought a bunch of ribbon and she gave me half of what she had. So this Boo ribbon was in her little assortment. So what I'm going to do, originally I thought I would tuck it under the edges, but I don't want to do that now. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to, I think I'll just run it along like that. And what I'm going to do, because this particular ribbon is sheer, I'm actually going to use some of my Elizabeth Crafts tape, and I'm just going to put it behind the lettering. So there's my little ribbon, and and then I'm going to take this panel, and I don't know, I could pop it up, but I don't think I'm going to, because I may pop up one or two of the children, and you don't want things to start getting, you know, way too thick. So then the other thing I could do is add a little pumpkin as an embellishment, and I could put it down here, which is totally fine. I don't want it up there because then it's really just floating in space without a purpose. But I don't know, what do you think? Final embellishment or leave it off? Alright, I'm putting it on. I'm sure some people watching are cringing quietly, going, oh no, 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 quit when you're ahead. But gosh darn it, I cut those out and colored them. I'm going to use them. There. There. Oh, I think that does look cute. All right. Now that is a finished card. So like I said, I went ahead and wanted to make little cards with each character. So here's my little mummy boy, and here is my little unicorn girl. And of course, it doesn't matter if they're boys or girls, but in my mind, I have to assign them a sex, or else I can't stand it. All right, so there they are. And then for this one, I did this color combination for the panel, which is Wilted Violet into Dusty Concord, and then the black soot again. And of course I edged the whole thing. And this sentiment is again from the same stamp set, and it's have a magical Halloween is what I had that one say. And I've already got the spider web situation done. So now I'm going to, I think I'll put the tape on this. All right, and there's card number 2. Isn't that precious? So again, card number 3, this time I have another little witch and then the little dinosaur, which I think is so precious. And then for this panel, here it is, and I really like this one a lot, and it was carved pumpkin, ripe persimmon. So carved pumpkin down here into ripe persimmon, and then into fired brick, and again edged with the black soot. So I really like that. And just as before, I'm going to mat it on a piece of black. And the black I like to use for this is the Recollections, which is Michael's, and it's their 65-pound weight cardstock, which is really nice. And it's perfect for layering, and I really love to layer black on pretty much anything I can get my hands on. So I love the price point. This piece is a little small, but that's okay. Anyway, there we go. this little panel will sit here beautifully. And you know, I think because of the busyness of the pattern paper and the little candy corn ribbon, I think I'm going to leave the pumpkin off of this one, because that just would feel too much, and then it would cover up even more. So I'm going to leave that one alone. And for card number 4, I have the little pumpkin and the dinosaur. And just so you know, I went ahead and I dotted the eyes and the nostrils with my black gel pen, and then I went over the little teeth here with my white gel pen, just so that both of those elements would stand out nicely. Now this color combination, for some reason, I went over it a little bit with the black soot and it looked really green, so I promise you that's actually supposed to be yellow. So it's fossilized amber going into carved pumpkin and then into the ripe persimmon. Yep. And what am I saying? Oh, and I edged it in black. So anyway, not my favorite combination, but I thought I would try it. Alright, so here is card number 4, and I put the little two people together as if they were holding hands and going trick-or-treating together, and this time I did add the little pumpkin in the corner. Alright, so for the 5th and final card, I have this combination, which is probably my favorite, and I started with picked raspberry, then went into the seedless preserves, and then dusty concord at the top, and then edged in the black soot. So that combination is gorgeous, and I think the little unicorn with the pink mane and everything looks so sweet against that. And then I have matched her with a little mummy this time. So those will be the little people, and let me just go ahead and assemble this. So there is card number 5. So I really think that these cards turned out cute, and I'm so glad that I got this stamp set and the dies, or the spiderweb dies. And there you go, a little bit of Halloween happiness. So I hope that you enjoyed this video, and I really appreciate all of the subscribers that have stuck with me and all of the new ones that are coming in. That is absolutely awesome. I'm so excited to have you here. And if you want to give any of these a try, you can absolutely use whatever distress inks or any ink that you'd like. Any Halloween paper pack. There's so many darling ones from so many different companies, and you can do a lot of mixing and matching. So if you know that you've got bits and pieces from older paper packs, you know, gather them all together and just see if you can just put together some, what I like to call collage cards, where it's just a nice little mixture of patterns and colors. So anyway, I hope that you guys are having fun crafting wherever you are, and please join me again soon. I actually finally got my Simon Says stamp card kit. It took an awful long time to reach me this time around, but it is finally home with me, and I'm going to be doing one of my 6-card 1-kit series videos very, very soon. So take care of yourselves, and I'll see you all again very soon. Bye-bye.